thanks for coming by and checking out Pete's Snakebite Kit again, specifically COBRA the Mini-Series. Today is the last installment in the top 8 COBRA manufacturers. We're going to look at Shelby American. Let's take a look. I want you to pay attention to something I said and something I didn't say. I did say Shelby American. I did not say Shelby America. I didn't say Shelby of America. I didn't say Shelby North America or any of the other variations I've heard of. Shelby American, that's what it's called. We're going to take a closer look at these guys and see what their COBRA offerings are. Okay, so let's run through these Shelby American models of these real quick, and then I'll put some details to them. All right, so the CSX 6000, that's what Shelby American's calling it. It looks like a CSX 3000, which is a 427 SC. The big block car with a bigger roll bar, the big tires, big flares, hood scoop, side pipes, which you think of when you think of a COBRA, most people. That's what I'm building my Hurricane. So then a CSX 7000 would look like a CSX 2000, which was the original COBRA, but this is the race version, the FIA car. So this had a roll bar, different than the big block car. It had a forward-facing brace in it, had flares, but smaller than the big block car, had bigger tires than the original COBRAs, had a hood scoop, no side pipes, and so on. Very good looking race car. This one is the one that did most of the racing. Then a CSX 8000 would look like another type of CSX 2000, which is a street car, the original one. If you saw the Herbie Hancock clip we had a few videos ago, that was a CSX 2000. Then the CSX 9000 is a Daytona Coupe. This is the one that won for Carroll Shelby the manufacturer's world title in road racing. And then the GT40 Shelby edition is the GT40. That one matches. Something you'll notice on here that's missing, we'll go into some detail about. So you may have noticed when we're talking about COBRAs, we're talking about Shelby American, I'm talking about the names and so on, there's something that's missing here. It's COBRA. Yes, I have it written there, I have it written there. None of these are actually marketed as a COBRA. In fact, I was at their showroom in Las Vegas and walked through there and wanted to buy a t-shirt or a keychain or a sweatshirt or a poster or a clock or anything that actually said COBRA on it. They say Shelby and all those kind of things. And I asked the lady, and she says, we have one thing left after Ford Marketing got through with us and said we could not use the word COBRA anymore. That's where I got that thing. They had like 10 of them left. Was one of the very few things in the Shelby American showroom that says COBRA on it. Okay, we've talked a lot about these CSX numbers. I mentioned this a little bit in the Kirkham video, how some of the Kirkham cars were sold as Shelby American cars. And if you bought one of these that was an aluminum car, we're gonna look at some pricing on that in a minute, and it was aluminum, it's a Kirkham car. That may have changed. Someone at Superformance told me they're making them now in South Africa, which very well could be. But I know at one point that was a Kirkham. My point is, their aluminum car and their fiberglass cars are a big difference in price. So these started about $100,000 painted fiberglass, about $180,000 if they're aluminum, but finished off and painted. And I mentioned in an earlier video that the Kirkham was about $100,000 with no paint, rough aluminum body. Those are all turnkey minus cars. So just to put these things in reference. Okay, so just to clear up this CSX deal, I've talked about that a lot, as if everybody knows what it is. Most of you probably do. But anyway, CSX is the designation that AC cars put on the car that they sold to Shelby American that got shipped to the United States. So this is what they were back then in the old days, and this is is the modern one. The reason I mention that is there's a world registry for all Shelby cars. So if it had a CSX number, and then the Shelby Mustangs are in that too. If you buy one of these guys, your car's in that registry. It's a pretty big deal. If that's what's important to you, obviously this is where you got to go. Now the good news, bad news on this is, you notice, like I mentioned earlier, it's not actually called a Cobra. So now that we've looked at all the top 8, if you really want to say you own a Cobra, pony up, because you're spending $1 million plus. So there we are. But I think we've looked at some very good offerings of a way that you can build a car that you're going to call your Cobra. And if you haven't figured it out by now, you are going to love it. Thank you very much for watching this series. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, I'm going to get back to work on the car. We'll post some videos on that.